Welcome back to the first episode of FANomena. This is the Listener Tales episode in between seasons. This is the first of many, but the first one after we officially wrapped up season 1 and starting season 2. And my new kitten is biting my foot. Stop it. Anywho, thank you again for joining. This is the episode where I read your phenomena stories. I'm so excited to learn about your guys' personal phenomenons, which phenomena you have experienced personally. A lot of these are as a result of a specific episode, so like jarred a memory for some people, or I think one of the last ones is just like general, so I'm excited. So without further ado, let's get into the FANomena story number 1. This is from friend of the pod, Allison. Thank you so much, Allison. She emailed this to me after we posted our BermudaTriangle episode, which was our 4th episode out of the 10 episodes in season 1. And it kind of is what sparked. It was like the very infancy of FANomena. So the very first FANomena we got. So anyway, Allison's email says, as a lifelong cruiser, she goes on a lot of cruises. She is a cruiser in that sense. Lots and lots of cruises. I, for one, will never go on a cruise. So as a lifelong cruiser, I thought it'd be fun to share a little anecdote about my experiences sailing through the infamous Bermuda Triangle. First of all, you sailed through the Bermuda Triangle, like just casually? That's terrifying. That's reason number 1. I will never go on a cruise. I am deeply afraid of open water. I'm sure there's a more scientific name for that. I'm just going to call it fear of very deep water and sea monsters, of which there are so many. But spoiler alert, I've lived to tell the tale. Phew. Thank goodness. Depending on the captain, there's usually an announcement over the loudspeaker as we're passing through. It's always something like, ladies and gentlemen, we're currently cruising over the Bermuda Triangle. Just a little announcement after breakfast. Don't look now, but we're at the Bermuda Triangle. If you disappear, my bad. You did sign a waiver before you got on this cruise. It's always daytime when this happens. Smart move, captains. I see. And the waters are usually calm, no mysterious fog or rogue waves in sight. Now, if you check out the Bermuda Triangle on a map, you'll notice that the Bahamas actually sit at the very bottom, southwestern region of the triangle. And if you've ever been to the Bahamas, you know it's known for gorgeous weather. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just like great destination. I mean, I knew the water was like very nice and clear blue, but I guess it makes sense that the weather would be nice too because all the photos from there look great. Not exactly the setting for mysterious disappearances, right? Of course, I'm not here to debunk any of the eerie legends tied to the Bermuda Triangle. Personally, I'm convinced all the spooky stuff happens smack dab in the middle, where planes vanish and ships disappear into the abyss, never to be seen again. As for me, I'm perfectly fine sticking to the bottom edge and soaking up the smooth sailing. The middle, that's for the brave. Or the doomed. And she included a photo that I will share on the screen. But basically it shows where in the triangle she's talking about. And yeah, I agree, Allison. I think the middle is where like the cyclone happens or whatever happens at the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. That's where like all of the, creepy entities gather and form. So yay. Thank you so much for sharing. That's so exciting. And you've been multiple times, I think, which is amazing. I'm so glad you keep living to tell the tale over and over again. But yeah, I remember when she first kind of like told me about it, I was like, oh, did the captains just say like, and to your right, we have the ever-turning cyclone and abyss where people disappear all the time and there is no communication. Don't mind the 10-foot waves. And on the left, you'll see a beautiful, pristine beach. Like, just very casual. Alrighty, our second listener tale is from our YouTube friend at Brianna Shush. I don't know. Yeah, she had mentioned in a comment on the YouTube episode Unfavorable Semicircle, she said, okay, I listened at the end and I swear I witnessed some weird phenomenon in the Warnerville, New York hills. I was staying in a cute little Airbnb for my birthday. Oh, STG. What does STG mean? Suddenly? I'm not hip with the times, clearly. We see this weird cloud that wouldn't move in the sky during the daytime. It was so freaky. I'm honestly getting freaked out typing this. And that night, we saw this crazy bright streak of green light flash across the sky above us. It was so fast, but I watched it come and go. It was crazy. One of the weirdest experiences of my life. And then I followed up and I said, no way, dude, that's wild. Did anyone at the Airbnb see it? Whoa, I'm definitely mentioning this during the FANomena episode. I'm nothing if not true to my word. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you think it was aliens? Did the green flash look like a laser or like a green shooting star? I'm so invested. There's so many questions and I forgot to put a comma in. I was so pumped typing it clearly. Bree said, yes, I was staying there with my ex and we both saw it. Okay, so see, my first thing was like, do you have anyone to corroborate this? And she did. The cloud ended up staying for 2 days in the same spot, which I'm pretty sure I have pictures of, and the flash of light. I would say it looked like a green flame burn streak. Ooh, so more like a laser than a shooting star. It took less than 2 seconds. It was there and gone. Luckily, neither of us blinked. It actually sort of lit up the sky around it and the tops of trees slightly too. Wildest experience of my life. I definitely think it was aliens. Ooh, close encounters with the third kind, fourth kind, fifth kind, sixth sense. I don't know. But yeah, that's wild, especially because of the whole like, do multiple people see UFOs and stuff as like green or like anything to do with aliens as green? I don't know. Interesting. It's also like, aren't the northern lights green in some parts? So I wonder if like, I don't know. I wonder what the scientific explanation for it is. We don't have any theories in this mini-sode, just your personal FANomena experiences. So either way, super exciting. Thank you so much for sharing, Brianna. I appreciate you. All right, next we have an email from Christopher, our lovely script master, Ruben Hano. Their husband, Christopher, wrote in. Yay! And this was an email after the BellWitch episode. This was actually crazy because Ruben had mentioned this to me briefly, and it's actually the subject of the email, which is titled, I learned about the BellWitch in school. So I know Christopher's going to go over this, but he was born in Nashville. And he was born in Tennessee, not Nashville. What am I talking about? I don't know if it was Nashville. He was born in Tennessee. So, yeah, I was like, you have to tell me more about this. What do you mean you learned about it in school? Hello. So here we are. Mimi, want to know something crazy? I do. After watching the FANomena video on the BellWitch, I remembered that we learned about it in middle school. In middle school? That's so young to be learning about the BellWitch. Other than studying how world wars impacted the USA, we didn't really learn about world history until high school. Before that, you learn lots of US history, and even before that, you learn lots of Tennessee history. In the 8th grade, I specifically remember learning about famous Tennessee hauntings, the most popular of those being the haunting of the Bell Plantation. Oh my gosh. In the version of events we learned, John Bell moved to the area after making a bad deal to acquire land from Kate Batts. Ooh, a bad deal. That kind of makes it sound like Kate was the proprietor of the bad deal. I don't know. Batts, after realizing that she didn't necessarily get the best deal, okay, so he was still the one that screwed her over. After realizing she didn't get the best deal, started to regularly visit and berate her new neighbor, John Bell, almost always accompanied by her large black pet dog. Oh, there goes the black dog sightings. That makes sense. After several failed attempts to get John to correct his misdeeds, Kate simply stopped showing up. Shortly after this, John's family, as well as enslaved people, started seeing large black animals around the property, including Kate's huge dog, lots of ravens, and even some larger birds. Oh my God, all mentioned in the episode. This is wild. Also, fun fact, my friend Journey has a black mastiff named Karma, and she is ginormous. So I wonder if the black dog was a mastiff, because black mastiffs are huge. And I don't know, I have a big black dog as well. She is a Bermudadoodle. She's 116 pounds, but I swear to God, Journey's black mastiff is like almost 200 pounds. She's huge. At first, these animals would just appear to be watching the property. Imagine looking out of your window at night and seeing a big black dog staring directly at you. Now I'm thinking Kate is like a woodland witch, and she got all of the like black animals on her side, and she was she got her black dog to rally up the like, well, not really woodland. What, you got ravens and even larger blackbirds like vultures? Oh my God. And yeah, basically was like, yo, we're gonna go haunt this guy's house. You in? And they were like, hell yeah, I'm in. I'm all for a haunting. After John and his family started to feel like this wasn't something normal, he started trying to chase the animals away from his property. One time even shooting at one, which caused it to vanish before his eyes. See? And thus started the even worse hauntings. I don't know. The fact that it vanished before his eyes, like were these ghost birds? From there, we learned the story pretty much as you told it. Some small differences below. Ooh, interesting. I love this. There were other people in this town that visited John and experienced some very specific paranormal activity. Ooh, even more people to corroborate the story. One common occurrence was that while going from room to room to investigate the property, you would hear an explosion in one of the previous rooms. The explosion always sounded like a bunch of logs that were tied together, hitting the ground and coming undone. That's terrifyingly loud. Oh my God. When coming back into the room, pieces of furniture would be completely disassembled. Oh my God. The beginning of IKEA. Just like disassembled it. And then you see some weird like pamphlet that explains how to like put it back together. And it just has like pictures and it's like IKEA. Anyone can build this. What? I'm caffeinated. It's fine. John spent lots of time rebuilding furniture around the house. And then did he start IKEA? Because I'm saying, or Wayfair, I don't know. I mean, he brought DIY furniture building to the markets. Well, technically the BellWitch did, so thanks, BellWitch. Difference number 2, several people also experienced leaving a room and returning to find knives and other sharp objects in the ceiling. One thing I remember about this is that the one person who visited the property noted while leaving, they turned their back and through the window saw John's daughter throwing objects towards the ceiling. Oh, okay, so that could have been Betsy, John's daughter. Number 3, only John and his daughter were ever physically touched or harmed. This is just what we were taught. There was a person who spent the night and had the sheets ripped off the bed while they were in it, but I don't remember hearing that the ghost got in bed with them or actually touched them. Interesting. So that could have been one of the embellishments that was added after the tale was told and retold. People love to add salacious details, even if they're not true. Interesting. But I mean, even getting the sheets ripped off of you while you're in a bed staying with friends is terrifying. I don't like that. Number 4, most people believe that the witch isn't real, boo, and that John's daughter was suffering from a mental break or struggling psychologically, and that John, not understanding what was happening, started to have sympathetic symptoms. Huh. An interesting theory. I feel like that sounds, sympathetic symptoms remind me of when men go into labor with their wives to be like sympathetic, I guess. So like he also started to mentally break because he saw his daughter mentally have a mental breakdown. I don't know. Interesting. And number 5, some people that do believe in the haunting believe that Kate went into a nearby cave on the property, a witch, to conduct a demonic ritual that was true source of this haunting. This conspiracy is essentially the basis of the Blair Witch Project and why the cave is to this day a huge tourist attraction. Ooh, what? Yeah, okay, wait, fun fact, I've never seen the Blair Witch Project. I know, I have to, I really do. I haven't seen The Shining or the Blair Witch. I really need to catch up on my horror movies because this is like not okay. But Blair Witch, that's really interesting. I gotta look up what this tourist attraction is. I kinda wanna go see it. Is it in Tennessee? Did the Blair Witch Project take place in Tennessee? Oh, I have so many questions. Loved hearing this episode. That is interesting how the tales are told differently around the country. Very true. Thank you so much for sharing, Christopher. This is so fun. I love learning more about, especially the Blair Witch, the BellWitch, especially because you learned about it like in school. As part of Tennessee, like history, that's so fun. That's so fun. But like also as an 8th grader, I feel like I would have had nightmares. And last but not least, our final FANomena story is from Marax, our lovely Discord manager. Yay, Marax. Thank you so much for telling us your personal story. I kind of was like nudging them because they mentioned they had a good one. And then I was like, you need to email it to me stat. I'm about to record this FANomena episode. I need to know what happened to you. So yeah, let's get into Marax's personal story. The subject is fittingly titled Personal Story. When I was about 15 or 16, I was hanging out at Revere Beach with a few friends. Just one of those summer nights walking around, not doing much. Classic. Out of nowhere, this random guy walks up to us, total stranger. He doesn't introduce himself, doesn't say anything, except, hey, do you guys see that over there? And he points way down the beach toward this old building we all knew, one that had a big empty lot behind it. We all look, nothing. Just a normal evening as far as we can tell. Then he hands us binoculars. He just had binoculars? Now, naturally, I'm thinking it's a setup, like I'm going to end up with black rings around my eyes or something stupid. But I look anyway, and that's when I see it. Out past the building, floating above the lot, there's this sphere, perfectly round, just hovering. Another alien sighting! Was it green? And around it, these little things are orbiting like tiny satellites. It didn't look like a balloon, didn't look like a drone, nothing like anything I'd seen before. Then, super casually, the guy says, yeah, they've diverted the planes. Logan's not landing anything right now, which is when I realize he's right. Usually, you've got planes constantly flying low overhead, lining up to land, but there's nothing, just empty sky. And a few planes way up, circling, but never coming down. We stood there for a while, just passing the binoculars around, watching, no one saying much. Eventually, the thing starts to shrink, like not zoom away, not explode, just slowly deflates and disappears. Vanishes. Like it folded in on itself. It went into a portal. Oh my God. What? It opened a portal in time-space itself. Crazy. We all figured it'd hit the news the next day. checked out every outlet for like a week. Nothing. No reports, no articles. Well, I mean, duh, if it has to do with aliens. And the government likes to keep it under wraps, as we all know. I sometimes question if I just imagine the whole thing, but the group I was with still remember it too. See, another instance of corroborating what you're seeing with other people who also saw it. Because like, yeah, like if it's just you that experiences something, then it's always easy to be like, oh, whatever, maybe I'm dehydrated, or I don't know, like I'm just hallucinating, or like as time goes on, maybe you're misremembering stuff. But like the fact that are multiple people that saw it too and can like kind of tell you like, hey, you're not crazy, I saw the same thing, is wild. And then, obviously as part of our theories in our episodes, we always mention things like mass hysteria or like folie à deux or things like that. But like, I don't know, when it's like a bunch of other people, I don't know. That's really interesting. I don't think I've ever personally experienced anything like that. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like truly paranormal or alien-y. I guess there was one time I stayed at Polish church camp, which is funny because I'm atheist. But now I'm atheist. That explains everything. But I was staying there and we had to stay in like the army room because it was like an old army base or something. And it was where like the junior counselors were staying. And there was a Jesus cross like on the wall. And I don't remember even how this happened, but apparently the cross, like we all like saw it fall and crack apart. And we were like freaking out because we're like, oh my God, did you touch it? I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. And then so we ran to get like the guy that ran the camp. And we were like, oh my God, the cross fell and it wasn't us. Like we swear. And then like we ran back and we looked at the wall and the cross was still perfectly there as if it never had fallen in the first place. And so that was really weird and really freaky. But that's probably the only time I was ever close to like feeling anything weird. But also the more episodes I do of Phenomena, the more like my lights flicker in here and stuff. And so that's fun. I don't know if I'm accidentally disturbing the entities, but you know what? I'll keep going because it's interesting. And it should be talked about because we need to find answers to these things. Just kidding. We can continue to speculate. As for Poke Pick, I've decided to take it upon myself to assign a Poke Pick for this Phenomena episode because I don't usually get to assign them. So this Phenomena episode's Poke Pick is, I think, Galarian Zigzagoon. And I say that because that is what Team Yell usually has. And they're like Marnie's biggest rabid fans in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I have both Sword and Shield. I love that Nintendo Switch game. It was so much fun and I loved playing it. And I loved that storyline of like Team Yell. They were crazy. But yeah, they're fans of Marnie. So Phenomena, Galarian, Zigzagoon. I don't know. I thought it was a good pick. Let me know what you think. And as always, comment, subscribe, like, follow, join our Patreon so that you can get access to our Discord, so that you can let us know even more about what you think. We have a channel on there titled Personal Phenomena. You can email us at phenomena.cases@gmail.com. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. Thank you so much for joining us for a little mini-sode where we got to go over some Phenomena stories. I love these. This is so fun. And keep sending them because I'm very much looking forward to reading these at the end of each season. And of course, we can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Thanks so much, guys. See you next week. Bye.